Dead Space is back, and with that, guys, you know that this is one of my favorite horror franchises of all time. Talk a lot about Dead Space and the future of this franchise. We've been trying to echo this game into existence, and now it's coming, guys. You can check out all of my Dead Space content here on the YouTube channel. I'll have a lot more of it for you here in the future. But with that, guys, I want to talk about Motive, the team behind the upcoming Dead Space revival, the comeback that we've been waiting for so long. Motive, of course, guys, is the team that worked on none other than Star Wars Squadrons. And that was a title that was met with, a lot of people were really curious about it, but it was met with a lot of acclamation and people very excited about it, and people love that title. And so now Motive is switching gears from that Star Wars universe over to Dead Space, which has, some similarities, but certainly a lot of differences, going from an action title to a horror title. How is that going to translate? And could this be kind of like a Bungie kind of transferring, everything over to 343 Industries with Halo, and then obviously 343 had a real hard time trying to kind of get everything under their feet, and it took a title in order to try to get them into a really good place, and we'll see how Halo Infinite goes, but it was met with a lot of criticism. A lot of pressure is put on Motive, to say the least, to really knock Dead Space out of the park. But with that, I want to talk about Motive. Can they bring Dead Space back to the top of horror? Let's talk about it. In a tweet, guys, coming from Motive Studio, made by the fans for the fans, meet our team of passionate and driven developers, arguably a little unhinged, who are rebuilding Dead Space from the ground up. And this leads us to an article, guys, on EA's website. Learn how inspiration, innovation, and collaboration are bringing the beloved game back to life. In order to get a sense of what's going on going into this project, we talked to senior producer Philip Ducharme, creative director Roman Camposorio, and art director Mike Yazajin, and it quickly became clear that this remake is a passion project for everyone. So by fans, for fans. Take, for example, Roman's 4-word response when we asked what brought him to Motive. The words Dead Space. This is clearly a team that's in love with the source material, and it shows in every facet of the project. So saying that is just like, it's like music to my ears, guys. I'm so excited to hear that these guys are just so passionate about Dead Space. It's absolutely awesome. So that being said, Philip tells a similar story. After several conversations with VP and General Manager Patrick Claus, he finally learned that a remake of Dead Space was the project he was actually being recruited for. At that point, it was like, well, where do I sign, Philip says, because that's definitely compelling. So I was the first person officially assigned to Dead Space and started preparing the project for the awesome team that moved from Star Wars Squadrons to form the Dead Space team. Honoring the legacy, guys, so huge. So let's talk about what this new iteration of Dead Space is and what it isn't. First of all, this isn't a reboot. That is, it's not a wholesale reimagining of the franchise, but it also isn't a remaster, which is mainly a higher resolution, faster running version of the exact same game. Instead, it's a remake, rebuilding everything from the ground up in a new engine while keeping and being respectful of what made the original so special. It's being fully rebuilt in Frostbite, Roman says, with all new assets, new character models, new environments. Even though we're basing those on the original designs, there are new parts, new props, new collision models, and so on. We're rebuilding everything from scratch, but we're keeping the same story and the same structure. So that's absolutely awesome. My big thing, though, guys, is I'm hoping that they do this in the way where it's like this, this remake that's rebuilding everything from the ground up in a new engine, but can they add other things to it? Multiplayer, co-op, other things that were going to bring us back to the title over and over again. That's where I'm really, really hopeful and excited about. So, the objective that we gave to the whole team was to have players pick up the controller and completely lose track of time, Philip continues, like they play through the entire experience without putting the controller down. That's how immersive we want our game to be, that people just dive in and don't come out until the credits roll. And what makes me concerned about it is, like, you want people to be there so immersed, but then after you beat the game, what? Are you going to play the game over again? Is there going to be other ways that we can connect? Those are the big questions that I would have for this development team. Are we going to have multiplayer and things of that nature? So the main source of inspiration, Mike says, is the original version and original vision for Dead Space. We make sure we're following the story, the art direction, everything out of respect for the original game. We are taking the opportunity to also do away with some things that don't work and make sure the game stays relevant to modern audiences, but even that has to be done surgically. To that end, the team has been seeking fan feedback almost from the beginning. We started sharing things with some of our biggest fans and asking for feedback just 2 months into working on the game, says Roman. We want to treat the franchise with great care and respect, so we want to make sure the things we're doing are hitting home with our community, which is absolutely awesome. So, interesting thing about these conversations and discussion with each of these team leaders, things always seem to circle back to the working culture here at Motive. Philip, for example, highlights the strong sense of teamwork that runs through every step of the process. We have a team that's able to talk honestly and transparently, he says, that respects everyone's opinions and values, and that reinforces that community to make something together to achieve better results. There may be challenges, but we come together as a group to fix those challenges. We work together to make sure everyone is part of the solution. So, and now I'm so excited, he says, this project means so much to me. I can't wait to share so much more. So that's absolutely awesome. What's also really cool is, want to add your own voice to this team? We're always looking for forward-thinking minds to be a part of our journey. Visit our careers page for more information. Absolutely awesome. Guys, this is going to be something special. I just have the feeling that even though it's not a remaster, which I think is great that it's not a remaster, I think they should remaster the original 3 games, but I think that this needs to be its own thing. Even though it's taken a lot of inspiration from the original Dead Space, it sounds like there's going to be a lot of differences as well. There will be similarities, but differences, and that's really important. My big thing, though, is are there going to be free-to-play elements? Is there going to be a full package? Are we going to be able to connect with this game outside of just the single-player story? I'm so excited about it. What do you guys think, though, about Motive taking the helm here to try to bring Dead Space back to the throne of the horror genre? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. And for more Dead Space content and videos, stay here with Zero TV.